grab yourself a blanket, a cup of tea, and just pop me on in the background. Because today we are chatting festive fiction. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is new festive reads. Oh my god, it really feels as though we're kind of in that season now. And I am definitely lining up the books that I'm going to be reading over the festive season. Now, on that note, if you had seen my TBR video, if you haven't, I'll leave it linked in the description below. If you saw that, you would have seen that on my bookshelf there were quite a few festive reads. That's because in the past I've been quite strict with myself and I would only allow myself to read Christmas books from the 1st of December. But I've come to realise from watching a lot of booktubers, I'm a very slow reader. So this year I'm going to chill out and I'm going to allow myself to start reading festive books whenever I want. Unwittingly, is that the right word? I've actually started reading a Christmas book already. It's not hugely Christmas based, but it's set around Christmas time, so it has that cozy sort of wintry feel. I will talk about that more in a second. So today I wanted to share with you 7 new festive books that I'm really excited about. Basically they're on my TBR pile. Whether I will get to all of them, bearing in mind what I've just said about how I'm quite a slow reader, I don't know, but I wanted to share them with you because you could be watching this and you could be quite a speedy reader. I'm very jealous. And these may give you a little bit of inspiration. You'll notice as we're going through that they are all chick lit. I don't have any of the books here with me because I am going to be reading them on my Kindle. So what I will do is just insert a photo here of the cover. I think that probably festive reads have the prettiest covers. Do you agree? Okay, so first up on my festive reads for 2020 is Meet Me in London by Georgia Toffolo. So Georgia, if you don't know, was originally from Made in Chelsea. She then went on to be crowned Queen of the Jungle in I'm a Celebrity in 2017, I think. I'm cheating a little bit with this one because this also was in my autumn most anticipated reads video. Again, if you haven't seen that, I will leave that linked below. Now this is a Mills and Boon book. I'm not going to say too much on this because I have a full review coming of this book next week. My perception of Mills and Boon isn't great. I don't want to say too much about it. Like I said, I'm probably about a third of the way through the book and I would say so far I am pleasantly surprised, but there is a lot of room for that to go wrong. So is my perception of Mills and Boon, which is quite is it justified, or am I going to have to eat my words? If you haven't already subscribed and you're keen to know, just press the subscribe button below, funnily enough, and press the bell and you'll be notified when that video goes live. So Meet Me in London is based around Victoria. She works in a bar during the day and in the evenings she teaches underprivileged kids fashion design. One night in the bar she meets Oliver. Oliver is, I want to say, a billionaire, and Oliver's mum is constantly on at him to find a girlfriend. He gets a bit fed up with the texts, the constant phone calls, so in order to get her off his back, he asks Victoria whether she would mind acting as his fiancée. Like I said, my full review of this book will be up next week. I'm hoping I should be able to read 70% of the book in the next week, shouldn't I? Let's hope. Next up is the new book from, in my mind, the queen of festive fiction, Karen Swan. I don't think it's Christmas until you've got a Karen Swan book and a tub of Quality Street in your hand. That sounds like the dream setup for me right now, with a blanket and a cup of tea. So Karen Swan's new book is called Together by Christmas and it's out on the 29th of October. I forgot to say that Meet Me in London by Georgia Toffolo is out very soon. I believe it's out on the 15th of October. So if you're keen to read that one, you've only got a couple of days to wait. Based in Amsterdam. Now, If you've watched my channel for a while, you will know how much I love a book that is based abroad, especially at the moment where we haven't been able to go anywhere. This year's been very odd in terms of travel, so I am taking all of the armchair travel I can get. So yeah, this book is based in Amsterdam, and it's about Lee, who arrives in Amsterdam with her newborn son and a secret. Skip forward 5 years, her son is growing up, her career as a celebrity photographer is flourishing, and generally she is looking forward to Christmas. One morning she finds a book and a desperate note in the basket of her bike, and so then begins the search to track down the author. Karen Swan, I've said this so many times, I'm such a fangirl. Karen Swan is such a beautiful writer. I have no doubt that by reading that book I will feel as though I am in Amsterdam and that Lee and whoever those other characters are my friends. Yeah, we're going there again. I've said this a couple of times, it's massively embarrassing and I should just shut up and not ever say it again, but it's true. If you get a really good book, you feel as though you're part of it, you feel as though it's going on in your own life. That for me is a sign of a very good book. If you're looking for a festive book, but something that's got a little bit more sort of grit to it, something that you can really get your teeth into, you can't go wrong by picking up a Karen Swan Christmas book. Number 3 is Christmas Wishes by Sue Moorcroft. Again, this is out on October the 29th. Do you see a theme here? I actually read my first Sue Moorcroft book in January this year. I really enjoyed it, so when I saw she had another festive book coming out, I knew it had to go on my TBR pile. And it's another book that is based abroad. If I can't travel physically, I'm gonna travel in my mind. And it's somewhere that I've always wanted to go. So, Hannah bumps into her best friend's brother, Nico, in Stockholm. And the two rekindle, would we say a friendship or a relationship? But anyway, Hannah has a boyfriend, Nico has 2 kids to look after. But when Hannah loses her shop in Stockholm and she heads back to her childhood home of Middledip, it turns out, conveniently, that Nico also is back in Middledip. No more to say than that. No spoilers here. Again, I love armchair travel. I am all over it, especially somewhere very sort of cozy, somewhere snowy, somewhere cold, somewhere where it requires lots of blankets and layers and hot drinks, and I think I'm getting carried away. You get what I mean. Okay, next up, so number 4 is Christmas for Beginners by Carole Matthews. This is the sequel to Happiness for Beginners, so if you read that book you can get reacquainted with those characters again. Based on Hope Farm, this is a very wholesome, feel-good book. Molly is looking forward to spending Christmas with her actor boyfriend Shelby and his son Lucas, but where Molly enjoys the more chilled, laid-back way of life, Shelby enjoys the celebrity lifestyle and being surrounded by adoring fans. Now, I know they say opposites attract, but I think there is a limit. This book again is out on the 29th of October. Obviously a very popular day for the festive fiction releases. Hey, where are we? Are we on number 5? I think we must be on number 5. A Surprise Christmas Wedding by Phillipa Ashley. This is actually out a little bit earlier, so this book is out on the 19th of October. This book is based around Lottie, whose fiance walked out on her a year ago. But things start to look up for her when she lands her dream job on a Lake District estate, complete with a hot, sexy groundsman. That's quite difficult for me to conjure up in my mind, because when I think of groundsman, and forgive me if I'm wrong here, wasn't Hagrid from Harry Potter a groundsman? That is what automatically comes to mind when I think of that. Lottie is asked to organise, at the last minute, a Christmas wedding, only to find out when she meets the couple that, of course, it's her ex and his new girlfriend, or fiance should we say. This is actually going to be the first book that I've read from Phillipa Ashley. I know, where have I been? Okay, next up, and I think we're on number 6 now, One More for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. I have heard and read people saying that Sarah Morgan is the queen of festive fiction. So there's going to be a battle between Karen Swan and Sarah Morgan for that title. This story is set around Gail, who is a very successful businesswoman, but has basically put her career first ahead of her family. She hasn't spoken to her daughters or seen them for years, and then she has an accident at work. And that really puts things into perspective for her. She starts to realise what's more important. So she invites herself to spend Christmas with her 2 daughters in the Scottish Highlands. Another festive setting. Anyway, this sounds like a very feel-good, family saga based story set somewhere cosy, so I am up for that. It is out, no, not the 29th of October, it is out on the 22nd of October. And finally, again, I'm cheating a little bit here because this was also included in my autumn anticipated reads video. But number 7, last but not least, is The Winter Garden by Heidi Swain. This is going to be the first Heidi Swain book I've ever read. Again, where have I been living? I love chick lit and I haven't read anything from Heidi Swain or Phillipa Ashley, so I've got to change that. Freya has always wanted to be a gardener ever since she was a child. When an opportunity to design a winter garden comes up for a lovely Victorian property in Nightingale Square, she jumps at the chance. Now, everyone there seems to be very welcoming of her, very friendly, other than the local artist that, of course, she has to work alongside. Again, this is part of a series. I believe that this is book 3, but you don't have to have read the previous 2 in order to enjoy this book, which is lucky for me because obviously I haven't read any Heidi Swain. So those are my 7 most anticipated Christmas books. Now, like I said, I am not sure that I'm going to be able to read every single one of these, but I am going to try. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you maybe a little bit of festive fiction inspiration. I'd love to know if you're going to put any of these on your TBR pile. If you're keen to see what I think of Meet Me in London by Georgia Toffolo, which obviously is a Mills and Boon, please press subscribe below, press that bell and you'll be notified when that video goes live. Thank you to anyone who has subscribed over the past few weeks. You're really helping me kind of creep towards that massive milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm aiming to do that by the end of November. My birthday's the end of November, so that would be like the best birthday present ever. Right, I've got to go and do some work now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again back here next Sunday where I will have another book review for you. Take care.